Well, hello there, everybody. My name is Scott, and today we'll be discussing what a government is. Sort of a basic idea that I think we take for granted. We throw around this word government without really necessarily defining it. And since this is a class that's based on the idea of government, it's important that we begin with a basic definition. And the definition that I like is that a government is simply a system of organizing people. And to function, it needs three basic things. It needs at least one person to do the governing or the organizing. Secondly, you need a group of people to be governed or organized, and this can be done either through their consent or through them agreeing to be governed, or it can be done through coercion, physical force, or the threat or fear of physical force. And number three, government needs this thing called authority. Authority can be broken into three areas. There is legislative authority, which is the legal power to make laws, executive authority, which is the legal power to enforce laws, and judicial authority, which is the legal power to interpret laws. So again, a government is simply a method of organizing people. To function, it needs three basic things: at least one person to do the governing or the organizing. It needs a group of people to be governed or to be organized. And finally, it needs this thing called authority, which can be broken into three areas: legislative authority, which is the legal power to make laws; executive authority, which is the legal power to enforce laws; and judicial authority, which is the legal power to interpret laws. Depending on the type of government, these areas of authority will be expressed differently, and the government's level of authority will vary. So on one end of the spectrum, you have what's called authoritarian governments. And authoritarian governments have complete authority or complete control, in which a single person or a small group of people decide which laws are made, how they're enforced, and how they're interpreted. In other words, you have one person or a small group of people who have all three areas of authority. They have legislative, executive, and judicial authority. On the other end of the spectrum, you have democratic governments. Democratic governments, or democracies, receive their authority from the people. This concept is called popular sovereignty. It means that the people have the authority, and we give it to government when we elect them. So we elect a president to have executive authority. We elect a Congress to have legislative authority. And those two groups of people, or those two branches of government, together choose those who have judicial authority. So our government has its power or its authority because the people give it to them. And again, this idea is called popular sovereignty. We can say that this form of government is a bottom-up form of government because the power flows from the people upward to the government. If you have any questions about this, you can please email me. You can please message me. You can come to my office hours, and we'll discuss these things further.